Welcome to the Weekly Rebound podcast. Back again to recap the final week of the Legacy League's Winter 19 season. As always, I'm your host, Connor Sauer, but not as always, we are joined here by a special guest, Chris Rudzinski, alongside my co-host, Greg Horn. Greg, what up? Say hello to everybody real quick, and then we'll intro Chris.
Yeah, the two-time champion, Chris Rudzinski, in the podcast.
Yep.
All I got to say is Flint Nation, baby.
Flint Nation. So he's still rocking with Flint Nation, but we got to welcome our man, Chris Rudzinski. Chris, welcome to the pod, the two-time champ. You've been doing it all in the Legacy Leagues, man, putting these teams together, and now you're finally ruling the game. You're a king on top of everything right now. Everyone's gunning for you. You got the jerseys out, the shirts out. Welcome to the pod, my man. How's it feel?
It feels good, man. I had to get the old jerseys out, the lighted up and the Titans, and I had the Shocker City and the other champion shirt. I can't wear both of them at the same time.
Got to highlight the journey.
Of course. These were the A1 teams, the day ones. Me and my boy Greg Horn right there killing.
6 points a game, baby.
Greg, you had a few
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Games.
That Carmine game. Best game.
Dude, you were our leading scorer our first game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then all downhill from there, but
all right, boys. Let's get into it. We are here with Chris. We're gonna go through all the events. Chris was there as a special guest and as a judge for the All-Star game. Him and TJ Gianni going back and forth at it. That was quite the antics. But let's start off with some of these events, guys. Not everybody showed up, so it was a little bit lackluster in terms of the crowd that we were anticipating on having with all the guys that were going to be there. But at the end of the day, it was still a really exciting event. It always is. We had some guys that were really throwing down some mean dunks. We had our special guest, Myers Segal, one of the interns, first ever joining the dunk contest. But this was a field joined along with Mike Bizzuto, Jason Hernandez, and Eric Singleton. So some guys who are really familiar with dunking in this league. First round basically came out with Jason Hernandez and Mike Bizzuto, resulting in a finals. And then Bizzuto walked home with the hardware. But what you guys see, what's some of the dunks that you guys liked? Who were some of your highlighted performers in this one? I'll start off with you, Chris.
It wasn't fixed at all, I promise. But no, Bizzuto in the final, I would say my favorite dunk was the one that Bizzuto did in the final. He did it was kind of like a 360 and threw it down.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yep, that was nasty.
All I'm saying, next year someone got to bring a beer out, shotgun a beer, and dunk. Or dunk on the you dunk on Joey. You dunk on Joey, you're getting an easy 10.
You got to get people to show up.
Yeah, a good point by Chris. Pooch didn't show up, and I think Pooch probably wins that competition if he's there. But I agree with Chris. The Bizzuto 360 was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I got to go honorable mention Myers Segal jumping over a body. Though he was crouched, he was in a crouch position. He still cleared. It was still a nice dunk. So Chris not a fan, shaking his head. Chris, why didn't you
Shocker
like that?
supporter though?
It's fine. It's cool. I'm not mad.
He had Shocker all year, Meyer.
Definitely.
Yeah. So not a supporter of Chris. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Then the 3-point contest, boys. Let me pull up the scores here on my phone. 3-point contest, actually, I feel like it was a lot better than the dunk this year.
Besides Pratt.
Other years, it can go the other way around. This year, I thought that
Pratt was terrible in the 3-point.
Pratt was not himself. Pratt only finished with 6 points. Let's get that out of the way.
But there's a player that should have been there was Mike, and he was on the sideline.
Yeah, Mike doesn't make an appearance in the 3-point this year, but he's been in it almost every other year, I feel like, right?
Yeah, he lost on some little, controversial to Matt Zuckerman.
Never forget. Shut up, Matt.
Forget.
No hate.
But let's go through these scores real quick, boys. Pratt only with 6, Bizzuto with 23 in the first, Joey with 13, Dustin Simmons with 17, Jason Hernandez with 15, and TJ Gianni with 16. So looking at this, obviously you round out your top 3, Bizzuto, Simmons, and TJ Gianni squeaks in there, just barely ahead of Jason Hernandez and slightly ahead of Joey Zacco. But overall, the first round was really good, competitive, and a lot of shots were falling outside of Pratt.
Yeah, I mean, shout out our boy Jack Champagne. Pratt pulled the champagne, as we like to call it. We know Pratt. Look, Pratt had the best shooting season by any player in this league this year. It wasn't just because of the volume of shots he took and how consistent he was, as Rudzinski Jason said. But I mean, I just think this contest isn't really about that. It's about like grabbing a ball. It's kind of awkward, and just certain shooters are built for it. Someone like Destin Simmons.
Some say he was trying to let Jason win, but
Yaga.
Yaga fan was strong out there with Jason and Pratt both repping in the 3-point contest. Unfortunately, Pratt couldn't really shine in the way he wanted to. But on the final round, guys, was great because it was TJ Gianni, Mike Bizzuto, and Destin Simmons. We all know these guys are purebred snipers from behind the 3-point line. Yeah, all of them. And Destin, unfortunately, with only 16. He came in last out of the 3. He'll take 3rd place on the podium. TJ and Mike went head-to-head. Mike Bizzuto caught fire at the end, trying to beat TJ's 19 as the last shooter. And he literally hit every ball, like I think of his last 6 or 7 in a row, but he was just one shot short of tying up TJ to force double OT in this one.
That's what Flint does, man. I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do. We win.
Semis.
We come in first and second. I don't know what Chris is talking about. We're on to next season. In the words of Bill Belichick.
So are we.
So, Chris, I got a question for Chris. Chris, what are your thoughts on Flint bringing home some hardware here on All-Star Week?
Good for them. The whole thing. It's hardware. It's fine. They can have all the rest.
Greg, comments on Flint Nation to defend them.
We good. And every great empire, has to take some bruises, hit some bumps in the road. It's like a mountain, going down, but we're about to hit up and about to win the ship next year. It's coming.
All right, boys. Is that all we have on thoughts for the events, or any final thoughts on the events?
3-point contest was awesome. I would love to see Joey skills competition. Where's it at?
Competition. Yep.
I think I don't know if he doesn't get more people to show up to the dunk contest. I think he should do the skills instead of the dunk contest.
Yeah, I agree. I think more people do that, or just have a dodgeball tournament and we all just. I mean, all right. Well, I'm just getting off the rails.
Everybody against Joey.
What's a formula to get more guys to show up who are elected into these events? Because obviously guys show up, they want to get their games in after the games are all over. Like, what's the incentive into getting these guys to show up for these events?
You win
obviously besides money.
$20, something like that.
$20. Chris, thoughts?
I think he's just gotta
skills competition would be good.
I think he just gotta ask the right people. Maybe invite more than 5 dunkers. Invite like 10.
Yes,
to get 5 to show up.
Maybe instead of inviting the guys that are the best, just invite the guys who want to do it.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
have a sign up sheet for those events.
Mm-hmm.
Contest.
And then we vote based off the sheet.
Yeah,
I like that. So yeah, this is some good ideas, some good thoughts for the events. But overall, it was a good turnout. Just not everyone showed up, but it was still, like we said, we made the best out of it. The guys that, shout out to all the guys that,
Definitely.
improvised on those dunks, weren't prepared for that, but still threw down, like Mike Bizzuto, who walked away with it, an improvised attendee for that. So let's get into this All-Star game. Speaking of Team Bizzuto, we got him taking on Team Pratt in this All-Star game. And a lot of these guys showed up. Even some guys that were in some of these events showed up for the All-Star game, just didn't show up for the events. Guys like Pooch and whatnot. So let's get into this game. This was actually a really competitive game, guys, 134 to 136. And Team Bizzuto, who me and Greg had favored just based on talent, ended up losing this game by 2. But at the end of the day, this was really competitive on the offensive end, not on the defensive end. Basically like a scoring shootout, but not really much defense. Will Ingersoll, Greg, break it down.
Who was the Will? Who is Will Ingersoll?
Will Ingersoll wasn't.
Oh, that was Pooch. Okay, I'm so confused who that was. Well, Pooch. All I gotta say is Pooch looked extremely comfortable playing with Mike Davis. He just looked very similar to Jason. How Jason had a much better season this year. It seemed like with Pratt and Mike, it reminded me of the Pooch on the Monstars, where I feel like on the Rim Breakers, he felt like he kind of had to be like a Superman and put the cape on and kind of do it when McLeese or someone wouldn't be there. And I feel like he understands, Mike's the guy. I trust Mike, and Mike sees Pooch, I think, where a lot of people wouldn't. I mean, if you look at the clips, he throws oops where you really don't see.
9 for 30?
Oh, my God.
And I love how this team was basically Chris's team.
I know. This is pretty much Chris's team. You got
this whole lineup is basically Chris's lineup. Chris was like, "Oh, yo, by the way, this is my team next year. Like this, we're
Destin,
previewing it."
Former Shocker, David Armstrong, rumored to be.
I can't do that to Eddie though. He everybody else coming.
Yeah, shout out.
Every team's coming too.
But I mean, wait, was Dom Langston was there? My bad.
We're gonna have an 11-man roster next season. Tell Joe.
Guys, where does this game rank in terms of other All-Star weeks that we've had in the past?
I'd say the game itself was one of the better ones.
I agree. Yeah,
one of the better, and I think that it was 5-on-5 made it a little more competitive.
What the fuck that was? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that I think it was the right guys on the court at the right time. With just like Chris said, there was 5-on-5. Like it was
pretty competitive. Awesome. They were sweating, no?
Yeah.
I think everybody was playing hard that whole game.
They were. I agree.
Yeah, and
Team Bizzuto 34 assists. Team Pratt 16.
Yep. So and I want to say something about everyone's involvement in this game. Normally, like you see, like this one guy doesn't get a lot of playing time. He's on the bench, doesn't really get like his full experience. Everybody was chucking up shots. I think the least amount of field goal attempts for any player that was even there was 13, if I'm not mistaken, and that was Eric Singleton, who dropped 16 points. So, not even a bad game by any means. He got tons of shots up. So that's what you want to see from these games, just guys getting involved. So I thought that was fun to see. So thoughts on that, guys, real quick.
Yeah, I agree. It was dope. It was dope to watch. And I don't know. Like I said, whenever these guys are playing on the court together, it's fun. It's just fun to watch. Yeah,
they were taking it pretty seriously, which is what you want to see, Chris. Any final thoughts on All-Star Week before we get into the final portion of the pod?
It just seemed like in the All-Star game, it just seemed like nobody really wanted to lose. They all wanted to go home with the win. It seemed like pretty much anybody could have stepped up at any point and taken home the All-Star MVP, anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. So the reason why we have you here on the pod, obviously, you're defending champ. This is like your FaceTime. Like you deserve this moment. Yeah, of course, back to back, baby. That's big time. I can't forget that. But what are your thoughts on this season? How you guys did? Because obviously, at some points in the season, it wasn't looking like you guys actually were gonna win it anymore. It looked like it was slipping through your fingers. I'm not gonna lie. When you all lost to Flint, I was a little bit nervous. I don't know what you're talking. But at the end of the day, man, what are your thoughts on? I want to hear like what you thought when Run TMC beat Flint, and if that benefited you guys in the finals, and how that went. Break down what the playoffs were for you guys in the whirlwind that took Shocker City all the way to the finals.
Playoffs. I mean, first round we played Moose, who obviously missing some players from last season. Wasn't the same team we played in the semifinals the year before. And so they played competitive too early, but we just kind of had too much for them. And then when we played Sportslook in the semifinals, they came out and played pretty tough too early, but then they just kind of ran out of gas. It seemed like I think they only had 5 or 6 players too. No, man, get my stats off the screen. We don't need to see those. But I think when Flint beat us in the regular season, I think they thought they were going to get to the championship and play us again automatically, no matter who they played besides us. And I think that hurt them because I think they overlooked Reggie. Like, no disrespect to Flint, that they played great all season, but I just think in the end of that game, they kind of overlooked Reggie.
I agree.
Yeah.
They were looking on to playing us, and Reggie came out and killed them. And
then in the finals,
I don't know what happened with the Eric Langston thing, but I mean, it took out a player for both teams, so I feel like that really hurt it. I guess Eric would have played better, but I mean, they won the game, so you can't really say that Eric would have made a difference. What the difference would have been if Eric played the whole game,
right?
So, what did Run TMC win by? Like 10 in the end too?
Yeah, 10. You know what it is? It's the players on TMC. You got someone like Reggie or Eric Singleton. They have a strong ISO game. The players on Flint
only really had Bizzuto with
their team ball. Once they lost a player, exactly, and once they lost a player, that messes the flow of everything. They always used to sub the same. They have rotations. They do the same thing. They're like, it's like a heart.
The player hurt them more than it hurt Run TMC.
Because TMC is like, all right, whatever. I mean, Reggie can do his thing. Eric can do his thing. I mean, Eric Singleton had 25 points. He 50% from 3. 12 free throws.
Which is Cody DiLorenzo and
Yeah.
The other
Di
guy.
Lorenzo. The disrespect.
I've done worse. I've done worse with
He
KT,
probably
my
would
boy.
butcher my name too, so it's fine.
Captain America, man.
Yep.
He
Yo,
deserves
Paul,
better.
He
random.
played phenomenal though.
He
Yeah.
did.
I'll
He
give him
did.
that.
Props to him. Props to him.
And then the
Greg,
finals,
thoughts on your
we
man?
played Joey again, so we couldn't lose to Joey.
Oh, that's my guy. Oh, that's Captain America, man. Let me
Captain America.
Cody DiLeonardo. Cody DiLeonardo had the second best season on Run TMC this year, and it's not
You're
even
right.
a debate. It's not even. He should be.
Who had the first?
I mean,
Reggie, obviously.
I think we know who had the best. Cody DiLeonardo this season. Howie Miller, first of all, I'm looking at his stat. I don't even get started on him. But, like, all right, I think we should talk about that, though. What happened with Howie Miller?
I don't think he felt comfortable playing on that team. I just think he missed too many games early and then just didn't.
I'm going to put his career stats up. Look how much they dipped. It's like insane.
I think Howie's almost got 1,000 points in his career. They definitely could have used him.
Howie Miller's a premier scorer, and I think he just has to fit into a system as Greg pulls up his stats. He's just, he's got to be fed, catch and shoot. I think he might have been being asked to do a little bit too much. He wasn't comfortable with his role, and then once he missed games, he didn't want to come and mess up any rhythm. But
oh my God, this is bugging.
Howie Miller, look at the resume, dude. Obviously, he's got a great resume of being able to put the ball in the basket, but not an impactful player down the stretch for them. What'd you say, Chris?
Playing against us on Light It Up, and I remember he was killing us. Why?
Yeah,
even if he
No
dynamic,
he fit on No Limit though.
I think they just all felt more comfortable on No Limit.
Yeah,
I think he even said the same thing about Rel last season with us. I think he felt comfortable, but not. It wasn't
as yeah.
Right.
Same with
I think that has
Pooch.
to do with showing up, though. You have to show up to all the games.
Yeah, to gain chemistry.
If you're gonna join a new team, you have to show up to all the games.
That goes back to Flint. They lost a guy, and then it's
all about chemistry has a lot to do with it.
There's such a it's
you can't just throw together random players and think it's gonna work.
Right. We learned.
You got to mesh guys together, right? It's like a system, Like whenever I think of like a failed system, I always refer back to that first year with Miami. LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Like they didn't click that first year, even though they went to the finals. Like they did that. Yeah, and then they got beat by Dirk. That Dirk team was really like we all remember Dirk because Dirk was literally one of the only guys on that team.
He was a free throw.
Superstar.
He didn't miss a free throw.
Sometimes teams like that will beat a super team if they don't mesh well, and you've seen it before. You've seen it in the NBA. You can see it at all levels of basketball.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah,
I was about to say Reggie. Yeah, Reggie
and
single-handedly did it.
It's speaking of while we're in March Madness, Duke is going to be like that team this season going into this the bracket, of course, where it's like they're the most talented team, but they're still not guaranteed to win it. So. We'll see how that goes. How your brackets doing so far, boys? Chris, I want to hear how your bracket's done.
Amazing.
You're doing amazing.
Greg doesn't want to talk about his. I'm in first in my pool.
I got my final four is still intact. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, mine got busted yesterday when Kansas lost. That was one of my first 4 teams in the final 4 that are gone. So that's not good for me. Yeah.
No comment.
So who do you guys have winning? You guys got Duke?
I got Auburn.
I got Duke versus North Carolina in the finals.
Dude, did this Chuck Barkley fan just say he's got Auburn?
Dude, I picked him by accident.
Oh my God.
You got
Auburn. Oh my God.
War Eagle.
Greg, you're just
I'm gonna give up sex for
something about Greg, man. I don't know what it is.
So I got a question. So Rudzinski, what speaking of the wall back there, I was on 2 of the teams, sharpshooter mid-range game myself. They call me a young Doncic, but where did the journey go from Light It Up and Titans, which were, I'm just going to be frank here, I was on the team, complete shit shows, to the legendary teams that are Shocker City, and even the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils were a top-tier team in this league.
It's been an interesting ride. I've replaced the first thing that made a difference was when I cut Greg Horn and replaced him with Mike Davis. It's probably the best move I've made in my career.
The big
that's
really so disrespectful.
Think about it, the turnaround started with the Bad Boys when Destin started playing with me early on. I think we won 5 or 6 games that
Jalen Eggleston,
Jalen and Trey Blake was
Trey.
Matt
Trey. I was
Shannon.
trying to think. I'm like trying to go through my finals. Like
Joey, if you want to play the next season, pretty much.
Yep. And you had Cash on that team too, right?
Yeah, he played good. He played good too.
And Shannon.
We don't need to talk about him. Oh yeah, Devin.
Shout out Devin.
Devin.
Man. Shout out Devin Luzetti, man.
Greg, I know you love talking about the story where they had like nobody and Luzetti dropped like 50. So walk us through it for the fans.
Dude, Devin Luzetti's Cody DiLeonardo. Like they are.
He's the OG Cody DiLeonardo. He's the OG Captain America.
Cody can shoot better, but Devin's more athletic. And when Devin's rebounding, it's fucking treat to watch.
We had three players against Mike in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin had like
that was the game, right?
Yep.
I had to guard Mike Davis. That's how that game.
So I wasn't there for that game. I wasn't in the league at this time. So like, what was the opponent's reaction to Devin? Was he getting like mad respect after that game? Like, man,
they started pressing because we went up early, and Tyron made them start pressing. And Mike Davis was like, Why are we even pressing? We're gonna win the game. They have three guys.
Tyron, oh my god.
And wait, Chris, you were one of the three guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was not there. I was in Florida. I took a vacation.
How many points did you have, Chris?
I had like 15, I think.
Was that your career high?
I think.
Hey, don't be ashamed. Mine's 15.
I think I had my career high against when we had 150 against Dinner Serve.
Yeah.
That's funny. Those are some good stories. Little flashbacks, huh, Greg?
I think my career high is probably 15. Though.
Yeah, I mean,
Greg, your glory days.
Carmine tried to 30 games.
Yikes, my glory days. You know, I mean, I did my thing in the league. You know. I think that maybe
I have 100 career points now. I mean, it's nothing to brag about, but at least I got started.
I'm about to go. You know what? I'm about to pull my stats up right now.
Pull Greg's stats up. Yeah, don't pull
up the stats, Greg.
For the Titans.
Greg, you shot like 50% on the Titans, though.
I did, yeah. Oh, well, you know what?
Crazy. Can we talk about that shot that Reggie hit in the second overtime?
Oh my God! Yeah. So Chris, what was your thoughts when that shot went down? Were you thinking, all right, we're still good, we still got this, or were you thinking, all right, we're definitely going to lose this game now?
Nah, I thought because it tied it. It's not like it was a game winner. Whenever it's
right,
tied,
there's a lot of momentum.
So I always think we have a chance.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Until the game was over, I think we're going to win. Even in the game against Flint where we lost, we were down by I think like 6 or 7 with like a minute left, and I still thought we could have come back and won.
Yeah, there was at points in that game where you guys were down, with not a lot of time left.
Yeah,
any point were you panicking inside?
Was the end of regulation. They were up by like 6, and then all of
right,
a sudden, and then Didi decided to play some defense finally, and we came back.
It felt as if the longer the game was going on, the more it benefited you guys with the added bodies and just added experience.
I felt that too. Once we went to the third overtime, I thought it was over.
Look at that.
Right.
I knew Eric Singleton was in foul trouble.
Yo, I took only 7 threes.
The GOAT.
I didn't pull at all. I took 7 threes.
48%.
Greg, you look like a young Mike Glennon in that picture.
On the Titans.
Yeah, I did actually have a good season on the Titans. Yo, I did look have a good season. Look at that, 48.
Playing time was an issue in that game too.
I played 6 games and only shot 7 threes. What
Greg,
the fuck?
You didn't want to shoot on like that.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be one of like the best, like one of the.
You're still the GOAT, Greg.
And you didn't want to shoot.
Damn, I suck. Fuck.
It just looks to me like you weren't very involved. It wasn't like you sucked. It was just like lack of shots, lack of playing time.
Oh no! Oops.
Now we're just giving random guys.
He's gonna light it up. He's gonna light it up. Oh my!
Light it up, all stars.
Here, you know what?
Wow. What a time!
What's the one game we won for light it up? That's against Stranger Danger. What's the one game we won?
The Renegade one. We beat the Renegades.
Is the No Limit one? We get smacked. Oh, there it was.
We only have 4 guys against No Limit. I was 4 for 17.
Devin Luzier, what a stud! Dude, he was efficient too.
No, yeah, Devin's like a more athletic Cody. Cody's
what's the problem when I take 17 shots in a game?
Oh my God! I just got a text. Breaking news, Chris. This is Screen Time, Chris. Rob Gronkowski is reportedly retiring.
Word. Good for him. He got 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, good for him. But damn, he's a good blocker. What?
Dude, Chris is the biggest Patriots fan that I know. Chris, like, we got to get your thoughts right now. So you're good on this completely? He did his thing. He's gone. He's got his rings. He's out.
We still got Tom.
Chris, is he the greatest tight end of all time?
He's up there, definitely.
I've had arguments, and I'm a Steelers fan. I don't like Gronk. I'm not fond of any Steeler, but I got to respect greatness. I think Gronk's the greatest of all time.
He's definitely. You guys see the stats now. I didn't think he was going to retire this early. But he has taken it's taken a toll on his body, I would say. The NFL.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has.
But, I mean, if you get 3 Super Bowl rings, what else do you need to do?
That's facts. This is just a do-it-all pod today, boys. We're talking about literally everything.
Look at this game that lighted up. This was a Chris Rudzinski team. Look at this team. We won this game. Look at that box score. That is disgusting all around. All around.
Chris Rosario.
Yeah. We got him. Shout out Chris Rosario. Great guy.
Literally, just
we got him. We thought he
only
was
dude getting buckets.
Yeah, he was killing the first 2 games.
He was killing.
We should have won 2 games. We're not going to mention any names. Somebody threw the ball off the backboard against Stranger Danger.
Who was that? Oh, yeah.
That sounds like some shade, some sneak shade.
Yo, we scored 37 points against White Magic. We scored 37 points.
Scroll up to White Magic.
My God, look at that.
We have 5 guys not scoring that game.
Dude, I don't know any of those guys.
No, Connor, James Davis and Justin Silva was on the throne.
Oh, Silva. I know Silva. Yeah.
Steve Buszek. Remember, he was Steve on Stranger Danger, and he got injured.
Oh my! That was.
Oh my God.
That was 3's team. Oh my God! I didn't even know he was on that team.
Yeah, and dude, look at that. You didn't take a shot. Jake took 2.
Chris.
I took 1.
Hey, Chris, no shots is better than missing like 1 shot, right? Going like 0 for 1 looks worse than 0 for 0.
On my team, and I couldn't even get the ball. You see this? I get the ball more from Shocker City than I did from Greg Horn.
Hold on, can we just give a moment of silence? Does everyone remember this ref right here? Remember when this guy used
the little guy? I love that guy.
Doesn't ref anymore.
Shout out to him.
It's a damn shame. But Rudzinski, all right, I got another question. What team do you think had the most potential that never reached it?
What do you mean? Like
outside of Shocker City and Blue Devils, like the teams you've been on.
Who was like a disappointing team that you thought was going to have a better year?
Yeah.
Probably probably none of them. They all had the seasons they were supposed to have, honestly.
No, the Rim Breakers kind of fell flat.
No, I thought you were asking about my team.
Oh, yeah.
All time, what team has been the most disappointing?
Ooh, not
yeah,
all
like
time. Or this season. Let's do this season.
Just this season. Like, who do you think?
This season?
Right.
Flint.
Wow, yeah.
They didn't make the finals.
Yeah, but
they had a great regular season, but you can't go 9-0 and not.
Agreed, but I think their expectations were like I think
outside of them, I would say the Chasers.
The Chasers, that's a good one.
Because on paper, if Jalen Graham went to all the games, and
what was that?
No disrespect to Larry, but if Larry didn't have to play 25, 30 minutes a night, they would have been a much better team. They only lost to Run TMC by 2 points.
I seen Larry and Dom Langston. They weren't meshing. Like there'd be plays where Dom would like pass to Larry, and then Larry dropped the pass, and then Dom is just like completely like up in the air about it. It's not. There wasn't a lot of good team chemistry there. Off the court, I don't know how those guys fare, but like on the court, there just wasn't a whole lot of vibing, which that could affect the way they play.
What about all time though?
Outside of the game,
stay with that all time one. What's you just said no limit.
The all-time one, definitely no limit. they should have won a championship.
I hope they come back. You want them to come back, Chris?
I don't know.
They won't come back.
I don't know if they. I don't know if they're most disappointed.
Also, I want to get some questions about Rhode Island, Chris. There's a lot of Rhode Island chirping going back and forth on Twitter. Are you in any way, shape, or form intimidated by the Rhode Island League and the champions over there? Any team that they have, and would you play them at like a mutual location?
What? We have. I have Mike Davis. They don't have.
He said
Davis.
What?
They have a mic up there. Like what?
Shots fired.
The best players like
shots.
Cody Crawford.
I mean, the league looks pretty like I don't know, lot like slower paced up there.
You can compare stats. It's not. Look, the third highest scoring team in the Rhode Island League this year had 795 points. The sixth highest scoring team in the CT League had 775. Excuse me.
Maybe they play. I don't know. I think they just play slower pace. Like it's not like just press and running it up.
Yeah.
Down here, it kind of it's really fast. Like most of the games are pretty fast paced.
Yeah, they are very, very fast. There's a lot more experience in this league too. You know, like those guys might have been playing on mini hoop for like over a year or two though. But like these guys, you know, in Legacy, the veterans have been doing it for years and years now. So do you think that has any effect on you guys being maybe more elite?
We can take it to 10 foot and see what happens.
Take it to 10. I love it. I love it. Greg, what are your thoughts on CT versus Rhode Island and the potential, maybe like a Super Bowl where the champions play each other?
No, we can let Eddie have that one.
I think that's Shocker City. Rhode Island's got to bring to me they don't have a team that's like Shocker City.
I think they could bring their all-stars.
I don't think they'd beat Flynn. I don't think they'd beat they'd have trouble with the Chasers with Dom Links. I don't know who's guarding Dom Links up there. I mean, sports look maybe.
LG on my team.
Yeah, I'm not disrespecting the Rhode Island League by any means. Lob Cities are very good. If they came to the CT League, they'd be a good team and they compete 100%.
I think they're more like they're probably like sports look.
I've done the highlights for both leagues. I've yet to see. All right.
Sports look was a contender this year, though.
This is the best way. But I mean,
like they need like another piece or two. You know what I mean to compete. Like if sports look added like Carmine or something, they would. True. It would boost them, but they would have been the 2 seed this season.
Let me hear it, Greg.
Yeah. All right, the best way I can put it is Joey averages like 6 points per game, or like 4 in the Connecticut League. He averages 9 and like 9 down there. So there's a reason there's a 3-point difference. Not that it's a big difference, but again, the Rhode Island League is extremely competitive and a phenomenal league.
But could Joey's team be better here? What it is, and he just gets more shots in Rhode Island, or does he take about the same amount of shots?
He takes about the same amount of shots. Actually, he might take less shots in Rhode Island. I'm going to front.
Interesting.
Actually, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's probably pretty similar.
It's pretty similar.
I remember I asked Joey how he did in the 3-point contest because Joey had a little advantage because he had the 3-point contest in CT the night before. So a lot of reps, a lot of reps that night. Getting him loose for the next night. We had the All-Star in Rhode Island, and he was also in that 3-point contest. And he said that he was doing really good up until his final rack, and then he like missed all of his shots. So. Not what Joey was looking for, but at the end of the day, I think Joey's going to eventually win one of these things. Matt's won one, and Chris thought it was the scandal of Matt Zacco winning the 3-point contest. Is Joey ever going to win one, Chris?
He'd have to invite different people to the contest.
He'd have to get less competition.
Maybe if he can go against like the interns and like
that's so disrespectful.
Shout out Joey. We love you, Joey.
We love you, Joey.
There wouldn't be a league without Joey. I'll give him that.
Obviously. Chris, real quick before we wrap things up, any thoughts on next season? What's your team looking like? Any leak details you can give us on your roster, and any details you want to leak on other rosters potentially forming that you're looking forward to going up against?
Well, all I know is that Didi and Jerry should be going back to the Chasers.
Okay.
Which will make it a little interesting, but we should have. I think we've replaced them pretty well. The only name I could leak out is that Terrell Vargas should be coming back this season.
Hey.
Okay.
I got some news.
Will help grateful. Well, I had a question for you guys.
Okay.
Which player would you pick to start a team besides? I would say which 2 players would you want to start a team besides Reggie Stewart and Mike Davis?
Let me hear it, Greg.
If you were making a legacy team, what do you guys think?
See, that's a hard one. There's a lot of players, and I got to think about 1 who would mesh well together, and 2 who I think.
I mean, if you guys need a good GM, you could always pick me too. So.
I think that I'm gonna go Mike Bizzuto. I gotta stay true to my boys, Flip Chavez, Flint Nation, baby. Let's go.
Go Nation. I like it.
Go Nation. Go Nation. Now Bizzuto's a bigger guy, so I can get a guard or someone that
he's versatile.
He's versatile. He can shoot. He's big. I think I would have to go. This is a hard one because Reggie and Mike are obviously the two.
You want me to give you the two I would pick?
All right, yeah. Let's hear it for you.
I would pick Dave Armstrong.
I like it.
And probably either Pooch or Jerry Washington.
Ooh, I like that.
I like it. You picked 3 guys, but I still like it.
All right, so
I'm going.
They're not necessarily
no, you go first.
Guys. Like, I mean, just none of them play for me now. If you think about it.
That's fair. So Greg's still waiting over there. Now he went from first to last in order here. I'm going with one of the Washingtons, and for me, it's going to be Didi. It's just because Didi shot. Remember the first time I seen that shit drop. I know Didi was not at his best, but that's because he shows up late. He's half engaged, and then he takes the court Washington when he really shouldn't be. He should be getting his legs loose. He should be taking it more seriously. But just because of who he is, his reputation, he's going to be out there. But if I was getting a fully engaged Didi Washington, that would be an unstoppable force to start off with. Would you agree?
I definitely agree. That's why he was on Shocker City.
Facts. And my second guy, this one was a little bit, this one could be debated a little bit more, but I'm going Eric Singleton. What I've seen from Eric Singleton, his mentality on the defensive end, his intensity, his ferocity, he shows up. He hits big shots and big moments. He's such a clutch player, and I love two-way players. I love guys who are going to be going at it on the defensive end and taking on the challenge of guarding someone's best player. So those would be my 2 guys. I got one guy who might be a little bit more relaxed and chill in Didi, but someone who's a pure gamer in Eric. So I think they'll balance out, Greg. So let's finally hear yours. Who are the 2 guys you'd build around? You're
a fuck because I was going to go Eric Singleton. So I'm going to change it.
No.
Ready? I'm going to change it to someone who I think I'm going to pick Rich Bronson.
Oh, dude, don't do that.
I love
don't
Rich
make
Bronson
me feel bad.
Because Rich is one, the funniest guy there.
Rich.
2,
I think a couple honorable mentions should have been. It could be like Gerald McLeese and Greg Daniels.
Couple guys from that team.
LG
and Dom Langston. I would say.
I was thinking Dom Langston. Him and Bazzuto.
Greg Daniels is a good one. Greg Daniels is a great one, actually.
I mean, what about Greg Horn?
Greg Horn.
I already picked Greg Horn first. You see, before I picked Mike and all them.
Oh, yeah. That was like third behind Jack.
Greg doesn't stick with me, though. He picks Flint all season. He doesn't.
Flint Nation, baby. We coming. Flint.
All right, baby. That sounds like a good spot to wrap it up. Any final thoughts? We'll go from Chris, then Greg. You wrap it up, the final thoughts, and then we'll end this thing. So, guys, those are great pods. So let's give our final take here. Chris, any final complete thoughts on this season? Legacy Leagues, Winter 19, the champion, defending champion, 2-time here in Legacy Leagues.
This is my final thought. 3.
Going for the 3-peat?
We're going for 3-peat.
I love it. You heard it here first. Greg, another third season doing the pod.
I got 2 more things.
Oh,
okay.
One more thing.
I want Flint to come back. They better come back. I don't want to hear any excuse. They need to make a team and come back. And the last thing I'll just say, Reggie, whenever you're ready, you come to Shocker City.
What did I just hear? Oh my God, that sounds like a Kevin Durant in the making.
In Waterbury, so we'll see what happens.
Oh God, Greg.
Look, Flint Nation, baby, that's how we do it. President of Flint Nation, I'll be talking to him. Look, the year didn't end the way I wanted to from Flint Nation. I'll talk to the boys. We'll hit the drawing board. Maybe fire a few GMs, hire a few new scouts, maybe a few new training facilities. But, Flint Nation will be back. And, that's how we do it in Flint Nation.
What do you have to do with the team, Greg? I just want to.
I'm the team. I'm the heart and soul of the Flint Nation fan base. When you think of Flint, you think of me. Now, what I will say is they better come back.
To Joey in the semifinals. I've never lost to Joey.
I'm on to next season, and all I know is Flint's coming back, and they're winning it all. And now, that's what I said this year. But you know what? A broken clock is
Greg. Why don't you just give up? You should just give it up. You picked Moose last year. You picked Flint this year. You might as well just pick us finally. Actually, no. You know what? Don't pick us because you've been wrong every time. So pick whoever you want.
I picked you to win. Last year I picked
the reverse.
Greg, when was the last time you picked the finals champion correctly to start off?
Never.
Never.
I picked No Limit. I was on No Limits bandwagon the whole time. I was on No Limits bandwagon. Then I picked you guys to win, but I picked Moose to beat you in the regular season, so it doesn't count. And then I picked Flint.
All right, I think that's it. Are you guys head to head going at it anymore, or is this is it over?
Greg needs to give up.
Flint Nation, baby, we coming. He's throwing up threes. I'm throwing up one. First
threes, twos, ones.
Flint Nation. Flint.
Speaking of three, this will wrap up our third season, Greg, doing it here on the pod. So it was fun. A whole nother season in the books. Yeah, we'll know that the podcast will be back. Whether me and Greg will be running it is still yet to be determined, but you know that there's a good chance that we'll be back. So just stay tuned to the Twitter for any updates on that. You know that as long as you're getting your Legacy Leagues content in some way, shape, or form, that's all that really matters. But yeah, from your host Connor Sauer, my co-host Greg Horn, and the hopefully three-time, he's saying gonna be three-time, only right now, only two-time defending champ. You got it in my head already, so I'm like getting ready to call him three-time. No, get those fingers down, baby. But it was great. It was a fun pod. It was a great idea having Chris on. Shout out to Greg for that. I would never want Chris on the pod. What a terrible idea I was saying that was under the table, but we won't talk about that. All jokes aside, it was a great pod, boys. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next season. Stay tuned to the Twitter for updates. We will be back, and we'll be back better than ever. Thank you, guys.